Hello, Rafael. Hello, Gaurav.
Hi, good evening. Good evening.
How
Good
are
afternoon.
you? Friends,
Good afternoon to
namaste.
you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Rafael.
Yeah,
Rafael. Well, in Spanish is Rafael, right? That's how we will pronounce it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, correct. Yeah,
Welcome to welcome to Asian Adventures webinar, and we're super excited to see the birds of paradise. And it'll be interesting to see the kind of tour that you're going to conduct to PNG. So, friends, I'd like to know that I'm clearly audible. If I am, please type yes in the chat box so I know that you and I can communicate well. Welcome, Sri Sri Kumar. Welcome, Adarsh. Welcome, Gaurav, Mukesh, Kushwanji, Minakshi, Rupa Manjari, Avinash, Onkar. Many friends are signing in just now. I'm happy to see all of you here. In a few minutes, we'll get started. We'll just give um, a few more minutes. In the meantime, I'll introduce Rafa to you. I address him as Rafa. He's an old friend of mine from Spain, and he's going to take you through a journey of PNG, the life of birds that he will show you. So, give me a minute. I'll introduce him to you. Okay, so Rafael Armada is a professional wildlife photographer and a guide from Spain with over 3 decades of experience in bird photography. He has won Bird Photographer of the Year contest twice, and he's the author of the book Portfolio One Photographs and Stories of Extraordinary Birds, which is published by Lynx Nature Books. Rafael has traveled globally in search of the world's most extraordinary birds, and on this occasion, he invites us to travel with him to this fantastic place, PNG, for the birds of paradise. So that's a bit about him. And friends who are here for the first time, let me quickly introduce myself. I am Mohit Aggarwal. I am the founder of Asian Adventures, which has just completed 30 years of its conservation travel wild journey. Um, we are currently engaged in taking people out for different sort of nature-centric experiences in Delhi called Delhi Earth Walks. It's a tour company that specializes in bird watching, wildlife safaris, and other nature-centric experiences. We fortunately have the largest share of bird watching business in India. And next year, we're going to have a very large conservation oriented travel fair, ecotourism fair in Delhi called Global Wildlife Fair, which will happen year after year. So if you're in Delhi or Sri Lanka or wherever, whichever part of the world, you must attend that festival. It will happen in October. So that's a bit about me. My colleague Gaurav is here. Gaurav, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience,
Hi,
please?
everyone. Thanks, Mohit. Good evening, everyone. My name is Gaurav Nalkur. I'm an avid bird watcher. I've been an avid wildlife lover for almost 30 years now. And I'm a big believer in the concept that wildlife tourism, responsible wildlife tourism, can be a great aid for conservation and raising awareness. Uh, I am qualified as a wildlife biologist. I started my professional life in wildlife research, and I made the move to wildlife tourism more than 10 years back. And, I've been very lucky to be working with Mohit and Asian Adventures, both of whom share my dream of using responsible wildlife tourism as a conservation and awareness tool. Thank you, everyone.
That was wonderful. Thank you, Gaurav. So before I hand over the mic to Rafa, I'd like to tell you, I'll just set the context. Rafa is going to take you through a virtual journey of PNG, and he will show you what you can expect in PNG should you wish to travel with him. He's got a tour going, and he will tell you about the details as well, the logistic details. But more than that, he'll focus on the photographs of various birds of paradise and what all you can expect. And you're free to ask him questions. You type them down. At the end of the slideshow, he will answer your questions. And friends, just in case, if there's an internet glitch, do not go away. This system is very intelligent, and it'll reboot itself, and we will be back in a few minutes. If you find that there is a problem and everybody else can hear but you can't, you need to log back in. So that's these are some of the game rules. Let's get started with Rafa's magic. Over to you, Rafa.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your kind introduction. Thanks to Gaurav as well for all the work you did behind. Let's see my slide. I put this. Okay.
I'll start it for you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so as Mohit said, thank you very much for attending this talk about this incredible trip to Papua New Guinea in the search of photographing some of the most astonished birds in the world, which are the birds of paradise. Okay, so I don't know if everyone was present when Mohit did my introduction, but more or less is this. I am a professional wildlife photographer. I've been awarding several competitions, contests in the world. I am only of the very, very few people in the world that I won twice the Bird Photographer of the Year, which I feel very proud about this. And I've been watching birds and photographing birds for all my life. So this is something really I know how to do it. So one of my dreams ever, as many, I suppose many of you, was to photograph birds of paradise, because it's one of the most astonished families of birds in the world. So before that, I want to put in context about the trip, the logistics and the place itself, because we talk about New Guinea. So what's New Guinea? So the region of New Guinea is the second largest island in the world. Okay, it's located in the Melanesia, and is separated from Australia only 150 kilometers, by this Torres Strait. And all this area is surrounded by lots of small islands. So as you can see, this is a general view of New Guinea. Okay, and what can we see of the topography of New Guinea is is located more or less in the equatorial position on the equatorial line, and that means it's got a very humid and warm climate. So part of the island is flat lowland place, and some other part of the islands is a very, very high mountains. Some of these mountains, I think there are four of these mountains are 4,000 meters high. So if you imagine near the equator, so a tropical island near the equator with these peaks means like we are talking about a very special place, very special habitat. So that means it is inhabit but many animals and especially birds. So that means that this is one of the world's mega diverse regions on Earth. Okay, so as I said before, this is what I meant. So you see these plains, no, all the lowlands in green, and these high mountain chains. I think is almost, I think it's 2,000 kilometers long, these chains. So it's a huge mountain range. And if we make like a comparison, it's like the Amazon in South America, the Amazon and the Andes all together in an island. So that's something incredibly amazing. And the island of New Guinea, most of you already know, but is divided by two countries. One country is Indonesia on the west part, and is known this part as West Papua. And on the east, half of the island is Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea is one of the recent countries in the world. It gets independent from Australia in 1975. So it's a very young country. And the thing is, West Papua has been a very well-known area for birds, especially for the last 10, 15 years. But Papua New Guinea is still a place to discover. It's very complicated to reach this place. The logistics are much more complicated than in the Indonesian part. The whole country is less developed. Is one of the poorest countries in the world. I think it's ranked the 15th poorest country in the world. So as you can imagine, it's not an easy place to visit. So yeah, let's talk about the trip. Okay, the trip itself is a trip that will run from 14 to 30 August of this year, and it will be focused exclusively in birds of paradise. As you may know, there is 45 species of bird of paradise. Some of them they inhabit in the north of Australia, some of them in some islands in Indonesia, but the vast majority they inhabit in New Guinea, and some of them, especially some endemics in Papua New Guinea, in the eastern part of the island. And as I said before, this is I want to put you some in context to be aware that this is not an easy place to go. It's not an normal touristic area, or it's a very well-known birding place. Not at all, because just from 80s and 90s, some big companies start to go to this place like an adventure, like an expedition. Okay, so in the 2000s, that start to be more popular. So apart from these pioneer companies, some other companies they went to visit the island. They start to have some lodges, some famous, still very famous lodges, where you can see some of these birds. And this is very important, as you may know, for some other parts of the world. It's very important to have a kind of tourism that is based in the community. No, is not sense to make trips to those places and not using or not involving local people, because if we want to protect the areas and if we want to keep these areas as pristine, as good as they are, we should take part with the community themselves. Yeah. So most of the trips are related, but especially our trip, which is very, very focused on this, using local people. So at the moment, at the date, there is not been any specialized bird photography tour. All the tours, is very important to clarify this, all the pictures, or most of the pictures of the birds of paradise that you have seen from Papua New Guinea, they are taken from bird trips. So that means if you are doing a birding trip and you spot a bird of paradise, you have a limited amount of time to take pictures. Okay, maybe a couple of hours, but it's not like you can't focus hours and hours in take a good pictures of just one species, because normally the breeding tours, the main reason to go is just to check to do a checklist of the birds. No? So as if they see a lot of numbers of birds is good, and if they take a picture is okay, but it's not like focus. So it's very important to keep this in mind, that this will be the first photographic trip to PNG, Papua New Guinea. Sorry. And what happens? Most of you know this person is Dustin Chen. Dustin Chen is a British guy, is a British citizen, that he spent months and months in Papua New Guinea, obtaining pictures of most of the birds. So to know this, to know the places, to know the people that know the birds, he had to use a lot of time with this. He has to invest. A lot of time of this, discovering new places, putting feeders in some lodges, incentivizing people to find birds, incentivizing people to protect and conserve forests. So thanks to Dustin, some of the birds, or some of the legs, are still present, and thanks to Dustin, we know which are the best spots for photographing the birds of paradise in the region that we will go. So we know where to go. We know exactly the spot to go. So this is very important. It's not like we are out on the field and start to find birds. We already go to the legs or to the feeders that we know that they are present. And yes, I want to tell you about the price, because this is a last minute offer. This is the first trip ever, and it is a very, very good opportunity to have to have a price like this. You have to bear in mind that next year it will be more. We will offer more trips. We will offer more seats for this, and I'm sure some other companies, they will start. So take for granted that this is a good price. It used to be a bit more, but we had some issues with the time of marketing.
Rafa, sorry,
Sí.
I may request you to move to the birds. I think some people are asking to move to the birds. We can come back to the details of the tour later, but let's
Okay.
move to the birds. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
no problem. Yeah. So yeah, this is part of the logistics. So in Monhagen, we will be around. The idea is to stay in Monhagen and make some visits to different places, to different areas. Are some of the lodges that we will visit. Those are very, very, very famous. We will go back. And this is the kind of birds that we may photograph. Of course, we will do our best. We know the places. The local people know the places. But we will take pictures, for example, of brown sicklebill. This is a very special bird. Super nice, and we will have this bird on a feeder. We will try on a feeder. There are some feeders with birds with this species. Blue bird of paradise. This is possibly the start of the trip. Just up to a very few years ago, 2-3 years ago, there was not any place known to take pictures of the leg of the display of this bird. So we will have the opportunity to get this. At the moment, there is 2 legs, and yeah, if we are lucky, we will see them from a height. They're a height made by some locals, and yeah, we will have the opportunity to see this. Yeah, this bird has one of the most incredible courtships in the world. I don't know if you remember Tim Laman's book about birds of paradise. And since Tim Laman's, there was not pictures of this species of blue bird of paradise. Yeah. The idea is to photograph around 10 birds of paradise species. Okay. They are not easy, but we know the places, we know where to go. Another star of the trip is the lowest parotia. You can remember maybe some TV programs, they start to dance like a ballet dancer. Yeah, this is some of the other species that we can have. Some of the species, for some of the birds, we will need to walk 20-30 minutes. Some others, they are next to the car. So in this one in exactly this one, we need around 40 minutes to go to the leg. But once you're there, we wait for some times in a height, but we can see this, which is absolutely outstanding. Another incredible bird is a ribbon-tailed strapia. We will have this on feeder, so it's not a very difficult species, this one. Also, for photographers, or for more pro photographers, bear in mind that this one, having a tail like this, we need to bring some short lenses as well, because it's almost 1 meter long tail. So if we bring like a 70-200 or 100-300 millimeters is perfect, because also these birds are very, very close to us, to the feeders. very similar to the other one is Stephanie's astrapia. Stephanie's astrapia also we can find in feeders as well, and is also 1 meter long tail. All these pictures are taken by Dustin Chen. These incredible pictures, and it's taken from the feeders. So it's what I said before. This if we are focused on this, this is something that we can manage to have. These pictures are very recently, so there are not all pictures at all. So they are taken just a few months ago. Another start of the birds of paradise of the birds, is the Rajana birds of paradise. That I don't know if you have seen some videos, but they start to dance and shout, and they are very, very loud, and it's like the Andean cook of the rock in South America. There are some males together trying to persuade a female. So this is also something we will have very good opportunities to photograph and to spend time. It's what I said. It's not the same to go for a birding trip where you only see these birds, or you spend maybe 1 hour. No, here we can spend one day, and if we are not happy, we can repeat the day. So we know good spots for this one. I think for me is incredible. Incredible, this species. This is the good thing is we will have the flexibility to choose between some birds. So depends of how is our pictures. If we are happy or not, we will find we will decide if to repeat or not repeat. So we need to have flexibility in these days. So we is already prepared for this. This King of Saxony looks, for me, I don't know for you, but for me looks like an UFO, like a Martian, I had a call from Dustin last week, and he said they found a new place for King of Saxony, very, very close to one of the car parks. So it's this is something that normally has to be super difficult species to photograph, but now I think we have many chances to get this one, not only birds but also flying and displaying. I think is absolutely amazing. What can I say about magnificent bird of paradise? Very similar to Wilson bird of paradise, which is on West Papua. This one is endemic to Papua New Guinea, and also we have a place very close to the Reggiana birds of paradise. These two birds that they were, these two males that they were. These ones, I don't know if you remember that. So this is the same spot than Reggiana. So they are, these birds, they as a parotia, they are very loud, and they clean the floor, and they do the display just very, very, very loud from ground. And there are also some other kind of birds of paradise, not so famous like the ones before, like this crinkle-cored monocote, which is a easy bird to find in feeders, and the super bird of paradise, another of the stars of the trip. As you can imagine, all these pictures taken by Dustin Chen, he was alone taking these pictures. So if that means when we will be a group, we can share experience, we can share opportunities for what we had. So that means if someone has a nice picture of a bird of one species and some other group has some good pictures of the other, or has luck or no luck, we can change, we can swap, we can optimize all the time that we will have there. So at the end, I think we will have many opportunities to get super incredible pictures. We will increase the opportunities to get these pictures. Okay, and a part of these wonderful jewels, there are lots of different species of not birds of paradise, but absolutely full of birds, pigeons, or these crowned Guinea pigeons. So this is full of different species, especially in the highlands. And also part of the trip, I want to put how you say, it's difficult to imagine a trip to Papua New Guinea without visiting best spectacle for people, no? Which is the Monhagen Cultural Festival. So the dates we will be there, it will be the festival, so we can attend the festival. If we want to stay one day, we will stay for one day. If some people want to stay for 2 days, we are flexible as we said. So it's possible also to stay a couple more of days. So depends of this, we will decide what to do. But I think it's a huge opportunity to see something very, very incredible in the world. This festival is only one weekend in August, which is the weekend that we will visit, and is made. It's more than 80 ethnic groups in the festival. So we'll see many different. Go back to this. So we'll see many different displays of people. As you can see, these people, they have many flights of many feathers of birds of paradise. Here Regina, here Super. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like a mix, because you can see in these people how important are birds of paradise for the culture. Okay, so Mohit, I finished to talk about logistics. So what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a great introduction to the birds and the photography tour that you want to do. And people who are interested can sign up with you for this tour. But if they've got questions, then you can answer them here. And then people who want to know about the logistics, like what's included and what the price, where will they stay, and all of that, they can put their emails down here, and we can send them information. But in the meantime, what you can do is first take their question and answers, because they're interested in knowing more about the birds. The questions are: is it true that PNG has the highest diversity of languages spoken?
Yeah. It's more than 800 different languages, official different languages in PNG. Yeah. It's something I read. It's incredible. Yeah.
Then somebody is asking, what is so special about the blue bird of paradise?
What's special?
Dance. Yeah. What about his dance?
Why? Just the male hangs on the of a trunk. Trunk, you call a perch, a branch. Sorry, and start to put the head down and hang now, and it start to it's upside down, and it's showing the belly to the female. Yeah, and it's where you can see these two feathers, which are very special. We can see here. Yeah. So always the female stands away above from him, and here I don't know if you can see. No, I don't know if it's possible to see here, but the tip of the tail feathers is got here a bit. The tip of the tail feathers, these black feathers, ends in a tiny blue shining patch, but very tiny, and this is the purpose of this. So he stays like this, and he wants to show these two spots. Yeah, the male looks for a spot with some sun, with some rays of sun rays, and they touch the tail, and they can see these brilliant tips of the tail feathers. Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah.
Wonderful. So somebody is asking, don't the tail of Astrapia, doesn't it get entangled in the trees if it's 1 meter long?
No. Normally, all these, well, as you know, you're a bird watcher as well. Normally, these ornament birds, as big as they have the tail, as big as they have the opportunities to get the females. So they are used to this. No, it's like peacocks. Peacocks with bigger tails, they are more successful for females, and also they show to the female that they are stronger than the rest because they can keep this so long, so strong. So powerful. So it's not a problem with this. They can survive. Yeah, they can survive very, very well because normally they are the strongest ones. Yeah. I have another question here. Why do they celebrate the festival? Well, good question. We are humans, and we celebrate. We love to celebrate festival. We want to share all our passion. We love to share all of our joy with the rest of communities. So yeah, it's a part is part of the human being. No, this festival is been there for more than 20 years, I think. Yeah, and it's more than 80. I think I already said that more than 80 different ethnics. They celebrate the festival. They come in all around the island. Yeah, well, Papua New Guinea. Yeah, and everyone in the. So this is a famous thing in PNG.
Very accomplished.
Sorry. Wait, the signal is very
photography day. Okay.
Mohit, the signal is not good.
We have a question from.
Yeah, so the next question is what birding hotspots would you recommend for someone who is planning a trip to PNG to maximize species?
Well, depends if it's a
Okay,
bird watching or is a photographing. If it's a bird watching, you need to prioritize really what you want to see. If you want to see birds of paradise, you need to do one thing. If you want to see all the species, you need to do some other things. So depends of the endemics you want to see. So there are not just birds of paradise. And also next to PNG, there are some islands with endemics. Some people, they want to go to Bougainville or New Ireland. So depends really on what's the wishes for everyone. Yeah, this is very, very personal. I don't know. For photographing birds of paradise, I strongly recommend to go to Monhagen to prioritize and to have the maximum probability to get as much birds as possible. This is by far the easiest way to do it, for sure. Because you have to think, as I said before, PNG is one of the poorest countries in the world. It's very, very complicated to move around the island. It's not a problem to fly from the capital to Mount Hagen because there are, I think, 3 domestic flights a day. But if you plan to go to some other parts of the island, you need to hire a private plane. Yeah. So it's not easy and not easy at all. So depends really what you are after. I can see here another question. Yeah.
The cost of the trip.
The cost of the cost of the trip is 7,900 euros and includes everything apart from I got here apart from the flights. Sorry, because I have here what's included. Here, yeah, okay. So what's included is full board. So that means all the nights and all the food and all the transportation from one point to the other point. So there is not no surprises with that. Also the fee for the cultural activities. All my help with the photographs. Of course, I will be next to the people. I will be next to them, helping to get the nicest pictures as possible. I also read here a question. So that means if you need to have experience taking pictures, or if you have to be a birder or a specialized photographer, not at all. You just need a proper camera. And from there, I will help you with this. Also, it's included in the price a masterclass with Dustin Chen. Dustin Chen will be there at the end of the month. So yeah, he will give us a masterclass about birds of paradise, and he will share with us all the experiences with in all this time with the birds of paradise. Yeah.
So another question is, what colors do the birds see? Any idea?
I don't know. You are a biologist, no, Gaurav?
So from my point of view, I know that so it's not about how many colors birds can see. They see in a different spectrum than we do. So a
Exactly.
lot of the colors we think look one way look completely different to birds. So something like black may look green and yellow to a bird. It's really has to do more with how the feathers reflect light rather than the actual color as such.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It depends of the UV as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and do they migrate, birds of paradise?
No, maybe they do some local movements, like in the Andes, or sometimes in the Himalayas. No, you do these altitudinal movements.
Yeah.
Maybe they move for food, but they don't proper migrate as we understand what's a migratory species. Not, they are not migratory species. No, but they move.
Got it.
Yeah. Of course, they move.
Yeah. So it's more short local movements rather than north-south migration.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Some of them are mega shy because they are been hunting for years, and this is why we need heights. This is why we need to be quiet while we are in the heights. So it's not. I want to be clear. It's not easy. It's not like to go out to the field. Oh, look, one bird of paradise, another, one strap here. No, there is a lot of work behind this, and we are lucky that this work is made by Dustin already. So, thanks to Dustin, we know which are the best spots and which is the best technique to reach places and species. Yeah.
I can totally relate. I went to Papua New Guinea in 2013. It wasn't a birding trip, but managed to spot. I mean, whatever little birds of paradise did manage to see was from very far away. It was mostly pigeons and parrots, and I mean, I still had a great time. I'm a bird watcher primarily, so I had a great time. But yeah, I know how difficult it can be.
No, this is why there is not many pictures of birds of paradise, and this is why it's so different. This trip, this is the first trip ever just focus on this.
And I mean, a lot of birders, even if they haven't seen it, they've at least heard of birds of paradise. So I think this is like a sort of dream come true for a lot of birders and photographers.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think Mohit is having some
issues.
Network issues. Yeah. Okay. So what do they eat? What do birds of paradise eat?
They eat fruits. And thanks to them, the trees and the trees can grow. No, so it's the same than in South America. No, I don't know if most, but many tree species depends on the fruits. So means depends that they've been eaten by birds. So if the fruits are eaten by birds, the fruits when the birds regurgitate the fruits, they are ready to grow. So they form a part of symbiosis of the whole ecosystem. No, birds.
Very important ecologically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And what does their call sound like? Is another question.
Depends of the species. Some of them are like shouts, and some other are very tiny. But to go depends on the species. There is some sources here. If the people is very willing to know this, they can go to Cheno Canto and check exactly which species they want to know. But yeah, it's not something regular or something particular they do for all the species. Every species is different. Yeah, and and also it's different if they do courtships or they do calls. So
So another question is, will we be photographing in low light situations or in feeders?
In both. Both. Some birds, we will go to some lakes for some species. So we need to go inside the forest, to be a height inside the forest and wait for the courtship. And some others, they will wait for us literally in the garden. So depends on the species, we will have one or the other. Yeah, this is not something like all of them are. Not all of them are not inside the forest, and not all of them are outside the forest. No, depends on the species. Yeah.
So one more question is, Sohail Madan has written, I'm going to the Indonesia side of Papua on the 8th. How does the visa work for Indian nationals?
What would be your suggestions? Well, the suggestions is to go for Aru Island, no? I think it's Aru Island or... sorry, the question is what I read is...
sorry, there's another... he's put it again in the chat as well.
Okay.
Oh, no, sorry, that's a question from somebody else. So yeah, the suggestions and tips, I think we can answer that first.
Well, no tips or suggestions. Yeah, well, there is a lot of unlike PNG in West Papua, there are many bibliography about this. So in Cloud Builders, you can find some super nice trip reports, but the most famous are Arfak Mountains, no? I think it's the Jewel of the Crown, Arfak Mountains, and some other spots, Aru Island, But there is a lot of literature about this, Not like PNG, that is very, very restricted, no.
Okay.
Arfak is, wait on my plan, Arfak Mountains, this is the place to go,
So the next question is the one on visas, so I think two people have discussed this, so I'll just club it together. How does the visa work for Indian nationals? So do you get visa on arrival? Any idea?
No, you need visa prior to go. You need a e-visa. It's not difficult to get, but at least with 2 weeks before to go. So it takes 1 week to get the visa, and it's not a problem to get visa for Indian people, because I was talking with Dustin, and he had some friends from India last year or 2 years ago. So they had no problem to go. So for sure, I know this.
So another question is, do you have any idea how many eggs they lay on average?
I have no idea. It depends on the species as well. But you have to bear in mind that for many of the species, the nests are still unknown. Some species, nobody has found a nest ever.
Oh.
So we talk about something serious. So we don't know it. We don't know everything about everything. Not at all. So yes, and sorry, jumping again to this, the guy who asked for the West Papua. I think one good tip is to know where not to go. This is one of the good tips. Be aware where not to go, because not all the places are safe. So that would be my advice for West Papua.
Okay.
Go to regular places or touristic regular building places.
So it's not a place for the backpacker to explore on their own.
Well, PNG no. PNG 100% no.
Okay.
But West Papua, well, it's the same than, as I said before with some other example. It's like South America. You can go by your own to South America, to Colombia. I've been in Colombia more than 10 times. No problem. But, it's like if you go by your own, you can get in trouble without knowing even what happens. And if you are with people or at least you know where to go, you won't have problems. You won't find problems. So it's a bit of common sense. Yeah.
So I don't see any more questions. I think, can you put your email ID in the chat box? I think if people have more questions about the trip, they can email you.
Yeah, this is my email. Yeah, feel free to ask anything you have in mind, and in case I don't know the answers, because I don't know the answers of everything, I will find the solution or the answer for you. No problem at all. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just copying your email into the regular chat box as well. So that's Rafael Armada photo@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I said before, bear in mind also, you don't need to be an expert to get nice pictures of birds of paradise. You don't need to have a big background on bird watching at all. No, you just need to have good energy and passion to photograph them. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tour for everyone.
It's a tour for everyone. Yes.
That's lovely. That's lovely. I think we can I think we'll log off now. So yeah, if anyone has any more questions, please feel free to email Rafael. You can email us as well, info@asianadventures.net. I'll just put it in. So if you have any questions about this tour, what it entails, any question about logistics, you can just email either of us. That's fine. If I receive an email, I'll be forwarding it to Rafael, who will answer these questions. And cool. So about recordings, someone asked about the replay link. So anyone who has registered for the webinar will automatically get a replay link. So even if they were not able to attend for any reason today, they'll still get a replay link in their email inbox. And, then in a few days, we'll be uploading it on YouTube as well. So then this will be available for a wider public to see as well. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you, Rafael, for a great presentation.
Thank you for your time.
This sounds like a beautiful trip, and it's nice to see a trip that is geared for bird watchers of every single level.
Yeah, sure, yeah. I will be there. So if anyone wants to join me, I will be more than happy. Yeah, I will be there.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Good night to those of you who are in India, and good evening to those of you like Rafael who are in Europe. And thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste. Ciao.
Ciao.